This is the Man Stop It podcast. Man Stop It. Man Stop It. What's the word, everybody? It's your boy Big Lester, Man Stop It podcast. Coming to y'all with another story about my son Scrapp being locked up in juvy, 11th and Hamilton, Audy Home. He was locked up for 5 months, and he was 14 years old. And I was kind of, like I said, worried about my son being locked up and that, but you know, he held his own. You feel me? But I got a little story, man, about Scrapp being locked up, getting into it with 600 members. You know what I'm saying? He was locked up. He got cool with the guards in there. Like, it's this guard in there named Sanford. Yeah, I think it's Sanford. But I haven't saw Sanford since Brian's funeral. But Sanford and Brian became real close. And Sanford took a liking to my son. He took a real liking to my son. And he took a real liking to my son. And he used to just, like, he was one of the people that come and get him, transport him to different places around the Audy Home and stuff like that. So him and my son became real close. And, you know, in that place, man, I know you a lot of them guards and a lot of people in there. Some of them kids in there, man, they take a liking to. You know what I'm saying? Because these are kids. At the end of the day, they kids. They just locked up and they just locked up in this place, man, for like murders, robberies, little petty stuff, all that. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, they kids, they shorties. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of them people in there, I know they take a liking to some of them kids. You know what I'm saying? And my son was the type of person, he was a lovable person. You know, a lot of motherfuckers love my son. And Sanford, he's like a security in there. You know what I'm saying? He worked with the kids on the decks. He been on their floors and shit. But he was assigned to my son. But Sanford, is my man, you know. And me and him became cool too, but I lost contact with him, man. I love him. If you see this video, man, get up with me, Sanford, man. You know what I'm saying? Get up with me, bro. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, Sanford, man, was a cool young brother, man. At the time, he was like in his 20s, his late 20s. And Brian used to be having to transfer Brian. Like, he said when they transfer them, they be walking with their cuffs on. You know what I'm saying? They be having their cuffs on. So they could walk past other inmates in there. They walk past them all day. They taking them here and taking them there. So one time, Sanford was walking Brian, I think, to the medical wing somewhere, walking him to his pod. You know what I'm saying? But that's what they call them, pods in there. So he was walking him to his pod, I guess, or walking him somewhere. But whatever. He says he was walking him, he saw one of the 600 shorties was behind a glass, and they could see you when you walking by, and he saw Brian. And he was woofing through the window or whatever, Scrap, you ain't shit, Scrap, you a bitch, and ooh. And Sanford told me, like, he said, man, you better stop it before I unleash him, before I let him go on you. And this what he, you know, cause, you know, he said my son was in that motherfucker, like, really getting into it, like, really, like, doing what he do. You know what I'm saying? Like, I knew he wasn't gonna, he's not a coward, you feel me? But he told him, like, he told Shorty from 600, like, hey, you better quiet down, nigga, before I let him go on you. You know what I'm saying? I let him go on you. You know what I'm saying? But the show that I'm talking about, he from 600, man. Uh, I think he got killed in California. You know what I'm saying? Many Moon little brother. You know what I'm saying? His little brother. So, yeah, I think he deceased now. You know what I'm saying? He got killed in Cali or something. But, yeah, that's who used to be woofing at Brian all the time. Back when they were shorties, you know what I'm saying? And he saw Brian in the Audy Home and he was talking crazy, talking about woofing, and my man was like, man, you better go ahead on, you know what I'm saying, before I let him go. You know what I'm saying? And I told him, I said, man, I'm glad you didn't let him go, man. You didn't take the cuffs off of him and let him go in there, you know what I'm saying? Because, you know, that wasn't right. You know, that wouldn't have been right. You know what I'm saying? And my son really trying to get up out of here. So I don't want nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like all this going on in here with my son. Because whatever happened in here, they're going to send that down to the judge, the documentation. And they're going to send that to the judge. And that's going to be a bad look on my son. So no, I don't want that type of drama on my son. You feel me? So he was like, no, I understand, man. I wasn't going to. No, but like I just told him, like, man, stop talking to him like that. Stop fucking with him before I let him go. But like I said, I told him I'm glad he didn't do it. He didn't do it. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that's the story. One of the stories I got on my son being locked up, man. You know, being locked up in there, man. It's a lot of kids in there, man. That they don't have their mother. They don't have their father, man. These kids just locked up in that system. And one of the guards told me that, the sheriffs, they said that, man. You know, they said, man, look, you and your wife, y'all here every visiting, every court. You know what I'm saying? My wife, of course, she missing days because she had to work. I wasn't working, but she was working. You feel me? She had to go to work. So some days she'll miss, but she ain't missed too many. But at the end of the day, like he said, man, these kids don't hire nobody. Don't nobody show up for these kids in that system. Don't nobody, like these kids, only people that might show up is a grandparent. You know, like they mothers and they fathers, man. Them people don't hire their mothers and fathers in there. And that juvenile, I guarantee you, it's still going the same way, man. Them kids just up in that system. And that's what we gotta stop, man. We gotta stop that shit, man. I ain't gonna lie, for 5 months since my son was in there, man, I was at every visiting day. I was up in there, man, making sure I see my son. They do Christmas, they do Easters, they do Thanksgivings, all that, because they juveniles, they kids. But this your boy Big Les, the Man Stop It podcast. Man, stop it.